Hey guys and girls, I'm Linksort123 and welcome to yet another update video about my project in Ocarina of Time based on the textures from Breath of the Wild. In today's video I have something big to show you guys and girls, because in today's video I have managed to basically finish up every single dungeon in Ocarina of Time, so they looks more like a shrine temple, dungeon, whatever you want to call it, instead of these individual temples like the fire temple, the forest temple. So every single dungeon is based on an element. This time it's just let me tell you the idea about it. The idea was to use like 20 different textures in every single dungeon, so every single dungeon is pretty much the same and has the same design on it. And I think I did that quite well. This means the fire temple has no individual textures from the forest temple, for example, and in the forest temple there are more mossy stones and stuff in the retail version of Ocarina of Time. But this time it's just like what can I say, it's more like just the same texture appearing everywhere, probably used in a different way or something like that, but the outcome will be pretty much the same. Let's jump straight into it, because I have a lot to show you guys and girls. I will go through each temple or dungeon, whatever you want to call it, pretty quick. I don't want to beat anything or something like that, because it will just take the video time, stretch the video time a lot. So let's just go through everything pretty quick and see what I got for you guys and girls. The first dungeon that we're going to take a look at is the Jabu-Jabu's belly, or inside Jabu-Jabu's belly. You can see here everything is pretty much the same. There are a lot of blue colors everywhere, and I just feel like these shrines from Breath of the Wild is pretty much the same texture that appears everywhere in each dungeon. You know, it's like I think it's pretty boring design, but I understand when the game has so many different shrines, you can't have individual textures for each one, because it will just take a lot of time, and holy shit, no, it's not worth it. Well, this specific dungeon feels really odd to me when I was editing it, basically because yeah, take a look at that enemy. Wow. When I was editing this dungeon, I realized the what can I call it? Everything is just moving inside here. It doesn't matter if it's these walls or those walls or this goddamn enemy. Everything moves because you are inside a living thing, and I don't really know how to feel about this, because it's it's really weird. Usually these textures should indicate it's like stones or something like that, but when you hit these, it just moves. I don't really know, and I was feeling really odd, especially when I was editing the dungeon very first time in my previous project that got deleted, and I don't really feel like it's original like that, but anyways, it's a part of the shrines in Ocarina of Time, and I think that's what we're going to live with. Even though it looks really cool though, and I think it's really different, but it's still not that bad. I think it's pretty cool, but with stone textures, it doesn't really feel like it fits really well to it. But I think it's okay. Let me say it like that. Also because it's just a temple, so I have to make it into these shrines in this shrine design, because it will feel pretty weird to make inside Jabu-Jabu different from all of the other shrines or dungeons in Ocarina of Time. It will feel slightly weird, right? Well, let's see what I got for you guys and girls over here, or in the next room here, and just take the other way, because Jabu-Jabu's belly can be pretty hard to navigate in, usually because they're like smaller corridors everywhere. And sometimes I can be kind of lost in it, and sometimes it's really easy to navigate in, especially when you have been playing the game while you're testing out textures, because it just makes your knowledge about the game design and the game corridors really really big, if I can say it like that, because you really understand everything about the game, or at least you know about everything in the game. At least you know everything about the textures and where different things are placed and stuff like that. Oh, let me do it like this. God damn, these, what are they even called? They are called berries. These berries is frustrating as hell, because every time Link hits them, he will be stunned for a little minute and a little second or so, and it's just really frustrating to play as Link when you're stunned, because you have to wait and wait and wait. Sometimes you're fighting 3 of these at a time or something like that, and it's just, for God's sake, stop it. Well, you can see the ceiling here. For some reason, some of the textures is getting stretched at different parts of these shrines, in different parts of these shrines, and I don't really know, because it looks really stupid, but I think it's because of the original texture that Nintendo have used, and therefore they're doing it like this, because then I don't really know, but the original textures is more low resolution, or lower resolution than mine is, and therefore the texture probably would look better in their design than mine. I don't really know. Ooh, not that berry, not that berry. Yeah, sorry for cheating a lot. Some of you guys and girls out there have said to me like, you're cheating on Facebook and stuff, and I'm like, I'm not cheating. I'm just showing you off my work. It's not about beating Ocarina of Time or something like that. Everything is just about running around, see what I can do and stuff, and show you guys and girls for what my work have been about for the last week or so. So this is basically the boss room of the dungeon, and there's not much to say about that. You have to see a little cutscene of the dungeon boss before we can proceed to the next temple. But that was basically that was Jabu-Jabu's belly. A pretty odd shrine, if you ask me, but I think the idea is great and the dungeon is great. But with my moving stones like that, it's just, it looks really weird for some reason. I don't even know what to say, man. But I think the final boss room is cool enough, especially with these moving rooms, but no matter what, the texture doesn't really fit to that. And this is the door. It has this iron looking texture. It looks pretty cool, actually. I really like that. I really like that. I really like that. Let's go to the next dungeon. As you can see, the next dungeon is going to be the Forest Temple, and this dungeon, as I was speaking about, it can be really hard to navigate through different dungeons in Ocarina of Time, but this motherfucker is the very worst, because there's always something that you have been that you have forgot or something like that, and it can be really frustrating to work in and just make your way through the actual dungeon. But as I said before, it's yeah, with a little bit of playing time, you might just get the knowledge about how the dungeon design is, and you will be used to what it actually is. I've been playing Ocarina of Time since I was 6, and I'm like 22 now, so I think there's I have enough knowledge about the different dungeons in Ocarina of Time. Well, as you can see here, we got some mossy trees, but it's actually because the outside tree that is, I think it's rotten or something like that. As you can see here, this texture is actually the same as these ones. And I can't make a tree into a stone tree or something like that, like the dungeon design over here. It will just fit really, really bad into this. So I wouldn't go too far about these shrine textures. All of the different walls and floors and ceilings is remade into these shrine textures, but the rest of it is not. So I just have to find a little idea there, and therefore I made the tree look normal, if I can call it that. as I was speaking about before, the different dungeons shouldn't have an individual texture for it, so it's pretty much the same in my texture pack, but it actually has. You can see the vines here that hangs from the ceiling in the forest temple. Yeah, I'm sorry guys, but it is an individual texture for the forest temple, but I think it would be a bad idea just to delete them or just make them invisible, because it just changes the feeling about the playing or when you're plays in this specific dungeon, because you still know it is a forest temple, right? With these vines and stuff, so I couldn't make myself to delete them, and I think it just fits slightly well no matter what. So, but all of the different mossy textures is actually gone. So yeah, I think actually it's pretty funny, because in the past update videos I have been talking about my really huge love to mossy textures for some reason. And the mossy textures have been used everywhere in my texture pack, from Temple of Time to whatever, houses, to graveyard, to the graveyard in Kakariko village and stuff like that. It had been used everywhere, but I just think mossy textures is just great. Little notice: the texture design is the texture design on the chest is not mine. It will be remade into another texture when the texture pack is done right. But yeah, mossy textures is everywhere in my texture pack. I really hope you can see that when you are playing the texture pack in your Ocarina of Time. For sure, they are placed where they fit to. So it's not just everywhere, and grass is mossy textures, and sand is mossy textures, and so on and so on. But pretty much in each area you can find some mossy textures, because my love to my mossy textures just had to come out in this texture pack, right? If we are making our way up here, we should appear in the middle of a mini boss, which is the Stalfos, which actually appears first time in this temple. For some reason, these Stalfos is pretty normal, because the Stalfos just disappear when you hit them and kills them. But if you go to the upper floor or the top floor, whatever you want to call it, these two Stalfos is actually pretty weird, because they don't disappear when you kill them, except for when you kill both of them. One of them actually keeps laying on the ground before until you have killed the other one, and if you're too slow, it will actually what can I call it, build itself, and then go to the it will actually build itself and come alive again. Let me say it like that. Yeah, this is just the same texture, so there's nothing interesting to show you here. And let's just dodge this little guy. Let's go on to the very next place in the forest temple. Pretty much all of the different textures, you have probably see them at this point of the video, because most of the textures actually just go on and go on and go on, especially in each temple, because usually, for example, let's take the forest temple, pretty much all of the floors is pretty much the same texture. You can see this floor texture here. It's also the same that appears in most of the other rooms in the forest temple. So there's not really much to show you, but I just want you to show. I want to show you a little sneak peek of all of the different temples or dungeons, whatever you want to call it, in this update, because I'm really proud of the work here. In the last version of the project, it wasn't really the best feeling I got when I was running around in the temples, no matter what I really did, because it was really mixed colors. I know I tried to keep the color scheme, but it wasn't really the best color scheme. This time it's more, what can I call it, dusty blue textures. If you look at the walls here, and it just looks really great, in my opinion. And I think it catches the feeling about a shrine pretty well, instead of having beige / sand colors into it too. It will be more like a forgotten temple or so. If I can catch a little view on these paintings, you can see it's actually a picture from one of the wallpapers from Breath of the Wild at night time, and then I put it in these ghost eyes that should represent the Poe should hide in the actual painting. Pretty good idea, I think. I think it pretty much catches up to a new kind of version or a new idea to the Forest Temple, instead of I just made more pictures of the Poe that should be behind it. I really like to put my own ideas into the texture pack, and especially when I'm not making a mod, but more like just a texture pack. I think it's pretty cool to push the game's texture to its limits and make a kind of a new version of the game just by doing it with the texture pack. So I'm doing it as good as I can, but sometimes it can be really hard because the game manages the different textures slightly different, and that's just how it is. So, but with the different Poe portraits or pictures, paintings, whatever I call them, it's pretty much the same. It's just one gigantic picture, and I could do whatever I want with it. So it turned out really great. Where did I even enter this room? Oh, over here. So I think those ideas is just some smaller things, but yeah, once again, I'm trying to put really a lot of work into each single detail, and especially these details, because they're just nice, right? And they just gives another feeling, in my opinion, than just make it into like the original version, or the same thing as Ocarina of Time originally had, if you know what I mean, right? Let's try to do this with the arrow keys. For God's sake, it's really hard for some reason. I was never really good at this, really never. Alright, second try did it quite well, I guess. I always like the idea with the twisted hallways here. It's pretty cool, actually. I think it's really unique for this specific dungeon, and I just wish they came up with more unique ideas for each dungeon in Ocarina of Time. It would definitely make the standard for Zelda games way bigger than it already is. So this is the falling ceiling room. There's not much to say about it. It's just a falling ceiling, and it is what it is. You can see the floor texture on the ceiling is pretty much the same as it appears on the floor in the actual room. Well, the reason why I didn't go further on into that room is because it will trigger a little fight between me and a Poe, and I really don't even want to start any fight, because it would just stretch out the video even more, and I think it's not necessary. Let's try to make our way down to Phantom Ganon, just by doing this little trick. It's a little funny trick that you also can do if you want to skip through the whole temple while creating your own texture pack or something like that. So we will just be elevated down to the lowest floor here. And for some reason the game actually changes the texture on the floor here. Usually the red and blue texture should actually just be the green one, because the green indicates that it's the forest temple, because it's actually carpet, and the carpet is green in this specific temple. I don't really know why it does that. It can be really frustrating at some points, but yeah, it is what it is. And once again, the game, I have to mod the game if I want to bypass this the game managing texture thing. And it can be pretty hard to do that, I guess, and I don't really want to touch modding in Ocarina of Time, especially because it's also slightly, I have heard it should be pretty hard to do, also because it's a ROM file and it's a pretty closed file format, so it's not something that I want to touch, not yet actually, maybe in the future, I don't really know, but we are about to go to the end of this in this dungeon. There's not much to show you right now. It's basically the same textures as I said before, and it's just really nice until now. You're in the boss room here where you meet Phantom Ganon, spoiler alert, and I just really like the place here. You can see original painting of Ganondorf's castle with the textures from my texture pack. It's pretty funny, and I think it's just a little cool idea to put in the actual game. It's pretty funny. I think I had to do that. I think I really had to do that. You can see here on these railings, or is it even call it that? I don't have a word for it, but you know, here with these pillars, side things, they have a little unique texture here. Looks more like some kind of space Zelda or something, but it is what it is. It just I just have to make this specific room pretty unique because I really love the fight with Phantom Ganon. Let's go to the next dungeon and see what I got for you. The next dungeon is going to be the Shadow Temple, one of my very favorite temples in Ocarina of Time because of this spooky kind of feeling you get when you're playing through this dungeon. It's really scary for some reason, also because the game is just for 3 years old or something like that, and I think it's rated E for everyone in America, and this temple just creeps me out a lot, but it's pretty cool actually, and it was one of my favorite dungeons back in the days, and actually still is, even though nothing beats the spiritual temple because it's just fantastic running around in that. Especially the music in the spiritual temple is also really really great in my mind, because it really catches this what can I call it, Arabic feeling, and it just sounds really great. Anyways, in the Shadow Temple, the game once again managed the lightning, and this is a problem for me because okay, I didn't get seen by this beamers. The lightning in the Shadow Temple just really fucks everything up. Right now it's not that bad, but actually some places it can be really dark and has this green color scheme to it, and in my opinion that's not something that I really want. I think it destroys pretty much the meaning about a shrine in Ocarina of Time, because it also turns my colors on the textures into something that it shouldn't be, and usually it turns out to be green or different different kind of color schemes of blue. You can see, yeah, it's actually not that visible in this room, but you can see like on the walls it fades out a little bit, and it just gets a different kind of color scheme than it was supposed to have. Also down here you can also see it actually pretty visible here, on the walls and stuff. It's yeah, it's not really great, but once again I can't do anything against it, and it's just how it is. Anyways, this shrine just seems to be darker than it actually should be, but it is what it is. I can't do anything against it, and I think it's fine. But it can be slightly frustrating when you're editing the textures, especially because you think, oh, is this a different color I used, or did I forgot something, or something like that. But it is what it is, and I find it, I can live with it, let me say it like that. Oh, this room, I always forget where the spiders is. I know they're coming in front of you, so you have a little time to react, but still, I always forgot about these. A little fun effect here, or a little fun detail, you can see the Sheikah eye up there, just for the detail. For some reason I just put it the Sheikah eye everywhere in my shrines. I think it's pretty cool actually. I just like to make the design different than it was used to have, or what it used to have. Let me say it like that. Flying over here to the invisible block like that. And going into this little room just to see what I got for you here. I hope you have realized how many times the same texture appears in each shrine. I know it can look pretty weird sometimes maybe, and some of you guys and girls might think, oh, it's really easy just to paste the same textures over and over again. But I just have to say, I really didn't do that, because in each shrine, dungeon, temple, whatever, I really tried to see what would look best, and I tried my really best to make them slightly unique, even though, for example, not all floors in all of the different shrines is the same and stuff like that. So I tried to make them a little bit of individual in each shrine, just so it's not the pretty much same everywhere. Even though the music also changes from shrine to shrine, because the music isn't changed from the original version. And once again, the different enemies is also changing from what can I say, from place to place, or from dungeons to dungeon. Because yeah, I haven't changed anything of that, because I have to mod the game, and I really don't want to do that, because it's just waste of time in my opinion. It is a texture pack that I'm aiming for to create based on different Breath of the Wild textures and nothing else. You can see down here the texture actually gets a really different design here, because the game manages the light really bad. The original texture is up here, and this is when the game tries to put some new light in it. Come on, man. Don't fuck my textures up that much. Let's just change the shoes and go against the wind here. Sorry if I'm feeling really what can I call it? If my voice is dry or something, but I have really I have a really hurted throat today. I don't know, but I think it's beginning to be cold in Denmark, and therefore it just hurts my throat, so I can't really speak that well. I'm trying my best, guys. I'm really trying my best. Let's go into this room and see what I got for you here. I don't even think there's anything here. No. Even though this wall design looks pretty cool, especially with the Sheikah eye and stuff, and also because of the stone the Sheikah eye is on. It looks pretty cool. Wow. Let's go in here. Let me just fly over here. What? Like that. Alright. Let's just fly over these mummies. Or Gyptos. I actually think they're called Gyptos. Gypto. This specific design is actually, I think it's a leftover texture or something like that from Calamity Ganon. Or at least it's actually from Breath of the Wild. And I think it looks pretty cool, but it also looks slightly creepy. But I just love the look of that. And so everything that turns out to be this dusty blue, but also have a little change in it. At least for some parts of the different shrines. Let's just fly over here and fly all the way over to the next section of the temple. I know it can take a little bit of time here, but come on, man. I don't want to fight any stealth foes or something like that. Also because they can't block my hits, and it's just, I don't really want to do that. I don't want to do that at all. Well, it's actually pretty funny because usually you see this as some kind of a fork down there, but it's actually a water texture that is running there, at least in my texture pack. I think it looks slightly well, but when you know it's a water texture, you can't keep thinking about it, really. So this room is just the shit for me, because I hate these floor masters. They are just, they are really creeping me out, and I would never hope for Nintendo's sake to for these to return in any Zelda game. It's really shit. It's really shit. Well, this room, there's nothing specific about that. It's just these moving wooden walls, and I'm getting crushed in a second. I'm really getting crushed in a second. Because no matter what, even though you don't touch the spikes, the room will actually reset when these two walls are touching each other. So yeah, fuck my life. I think most of the the two other rooms here, you have probably seen them in you have seen the other design from other rooms. Come on, Link, get down there. Let's go in here. Just see what I got for you. These gigantic skeleton heads. I don't really know. I don't know how to feel about this, but these are actually generated by other textures that appears in the Shadow Temple, and I kept these specific skeleton heads for the last piece of editing in the Shadow Temple, and yeah, they just look horrible. I know, don't say it to me. I know they're looking horrible, or at least they're looking slightly bad, but I couldn't do anything against it. It is what it is, and I just wanted to keep the other textures in the dungeon, and therefore I just let these skeleton heads look bad. Slightly bad. It's how you look at them. And let's fly over to the dungeon boss room here. And like that. Well, this is pretty much the end of the dungeon, or the end of the Shadow Temple. Falling down here to Bongo Bongo, you will see the very last textures, but they're actually not edited yet, because those are textures that lays in the boss folder, and that's the reason why I haven't edited them yet, because I keep the bosses until I start editing the different enemies in the game. I don't know why, it's just something that I do so I can have some kind of control of what's edited and what's not. So that's the reason why this is not done yet. Well, let's go to the next dungeon before we're getting killed by Bongo Bongo. Okay, he already started killing me there. Let's go to the next dungeon. That's the best idea. The next dungeon is the Water Temple. Probably not the most fan-favorited temple in Ocarina of Time, but also just a really iconic temple for Ocarina of Time. This dungeon is different and also really mystical, that I really like it for those reasons. Iconic and a different temple for Ocarina of Time. Once again, with this unique feature when you have to raise the water in different to different floors to make your way through the temple. It's iconic, and I just really love that. Let's try to dig us way down to the bottom, so I can lower the water for the very first time. This dungeon was it was really fun to edit this specific dungeon, because the Water Temple was me and my mom's favorite when I was younger. Also because it was the very first temple that we was playing together, because I was so young at the time, so we was playing the game together, and my mom basically started playing Ocarina of Time together with me when I was at the water temple. When I was at the water temple section of the game, it was really iconic for me, and it was just really fun to return to this specific temple this time. And also because I think the outcome could be really great when I was editing this, because most of the other temples was finished at the time, so I could slightly see the outcome of the temple if I just did it right and did it the same way as the other temples. So the outcome was really great, and just the whole idea about the water temple was really fun to edit. I never understood why they put the water texture in here. It's actually the water texture for the actual water here, so I don't really know why this goddamn texture appears here. It's like a crack in the wall. And why the hell does the water texture, what does the water texture have to do with this? It's stupid. It's really stupid. Can I dig down to the bottom? Dive down to the bottom, sorry. But yeah, as I said before, the water temple was just really iconic for me, and I just think these features the water temple has makes it even more better. I don't really know why people hate this temple so much. I can see it can be frustrating sometime, also because all these different corridors and different places to go, and sometimes you can just be you can just mess up everything because you forgot a key or something like that. But the temple, all in all, is just really unique and just different. And that's the pretty cool thing with it. Let's go to the button again. I can see first time you're playing Ocarina of Time, it can be really frustrating because raising the water to different floors and stuff like that, just to make everything perfect, can be really tricky. Because sometimes you, yeah, as I said before, you forgot a key or so, but it just makes the feeling about this specific dungeon different, and it's just nice, isn't it? It's just nice. Alright, now we are here, and we're just flying. Oh my god, the levitation code for Ocarina of Time makes everything better, because you can just make your way to a specific section really quick. I'm really in love with levitating. It's just fun, really. So I'm just going through the different rooms really quick, because as I said before in the other dungeon, most of the textures is actually pretty much the same, and especially for a specific oh, sorry. If you are editing a dungeon, the floor might be the same all the way through the dungeon. So I can pretty much choose for a texture for each temple. Oh, it's not one of those switches. I can choose a texture for the floor in each dungeon, and I can choose a texture for all of the walls in a specific dungeon. That's the main thing that you can choose between in the different shrines. I don't want to go down there. It will be too much work, because all of the textures for the water temple is probably seen already now, and all of the smaller rooms for the water temple is it has the same textures over and over again. So for God's sake, not these spiky ones. For God's sake, come on. Well, I have to raise the water once again to in order to proceed in the temple. So let's just do that. Come on. And like this, let's just levitate. It's easier than using the hook shot. And we have to play a little song once again. While I'm showing you the water temple, I can give you a little story behind the whole project, because the actual process of the project have been really quick this time. After the old project got deleted, everything turned out really well, because I really got the motivation to make it done, and just the motivation for for making a really great product for you guys and girls. The outcome of the project is better than last time. The outcome of the project is just different, and I have really put in my effort into each single detail to make it really complete and just give a great feeling when you are playing the actual, or with the actual texture pack. It's the outcome, I can't believe it really, because I would never imagine in my wildest fantasy that the outcome would be like this. In under 3 months I have actually managed to build up a whole texture pack for Ocarina of Time, containing more than 2,000 different textures, and it's just amazing, guys and girls. It's really amazing. I know I'm not playing with all of the different textures right now because it will just be weird in my opinion, because I have to load a lot, and for some reason I just really didn't do that. But when everything is loaded into the game just already now, it feels amazing to run around in Ocarina of Time, and it gives like a new feeling to the game because everything looks different in like a whole new style. It's not just a different kind of resolution or something. It's really different, and with other textures used than it was supposed to have, and stuff like that. And it's just really amazing, guys and girls. It's really amazing. I can't wait to show you the final product. There will definitely come out more. There will come more videos about the project completed when everything is done. The next thing I have to edit is NPCs and enemies, and it's a kind of a big thing because NPCs is just, yeah, it's a really big thing because NPCs is what also the game is about, if I can say it like that. Oh, for God's sake, this like is just frustrating as hell. It took my goddamn tonic. I can't even escape it. Well, NPCs and enemies might be done in like a month or so. So I think we can probably make a release in the end of this year, and I can't wait to do that. I can't really wait to do that. It's gonna be so awesome to have a final product, so quick, so complete, and just so well done. It's amazing. Yeah, there's no Dark Link because I already have beaten the temple in the save file, so don't think about that. This room is just really weird, man, because before you have beaten Dark Link, there is no walls, there's nothing, just invisible walls, and you can just, the room feels really empty because there are no walls. It's just a gigantic, dusty, or foggy place. It's really weird. And then we have to be in this room, which can be really frustrating if you don't cheat, because you will be sucked down by these underwater things, whatever you want to call them. But yeah, the complete project will definitely blow your mind, my mind, and everyone's mind. I really hope so, and I really hope it will blow up because of all this work I have been putting into this. It's amazing, and also because the project have been in process for more than 3 years now. So I just want to be done with it. I want to release it, and I want to show you guys and girls the complete work of it, literally. And we have the water down here. We have the water dragon, whatever. Some kind of a dragon underwater, so it has to be a water dragon. But well, yeah, I can't really show more than I have done right now, because I'm trying to show you everything in what can I call it, in each shrine, and all the different textures that I've been working on. Also in other update videos, not about the shrines and stuff. Well, there's so much to show you guys and girls, but I think I basically showed you everything I got for you up to this point of the process, and that's pretty good, because I'm really proud of everything that I have been doing in the whole texture pack here. Let's just fly up here and enter the boss room, because it's the last room here. When you're showing the temple like this, it feels way smaller than it actually is, but it's probably because I'm also flying around and stuff like that. I'm cheating a little bit, but it just feels really small and just really quick to beat. But the water temple can be really frustrating if you don't have infinite keys and not levitate through everything and stuff like that. So this is the boss room. There's not much to say here. Once again, we got the same texture style and everything there. So it is what it is. It's just more of the same texture, all at all. It's really beautiful to see this water texture that just floats on the walls and on the ceiling. Looks really beautiful and gives a, once again, more mystical feeling and really creepy feeling when you're running around here. You're pretty much not noticing it when you're fighting the boss because it's not what you think about at the time, but it can be really beautiful when you're not playing against the boss or fighting against the boss. Looks really beautiful. Wow. Well, let's go to the very final dungeon for Ocarina of Time. It's the Spiritual Temple, which is my favorite dungeon, so yeah, I can't wait to show you that. Give me 2 seconds. Boop! The last temple I want to show you in today's update video is the Spiritual Temple. My very favorite Zelda dungeon of all time. It's basically just amazing. I love the music, I love the dungeon design, I love everything about it. And it was such a unique experience to edit this because I think the turnout of this dungeon was really amazing. I couldn't expect it better, and it was just really great. You can see here on the snake eyes, it's instead of a snake's eyes, it's the Sheikah eye. I really just love the Sheikah eye, and therefore I just have to put it in everywhere in the dungeon. All these different pillars, the different wall designs, the floor here and everything, it's just amazing, guys and girls. I really love the design of this. I know it's the same textures that I used in other dungeons, but I just think the turnout in the Spiritual Temple was it could be more detailed because of these, for example, pillars. We have this carpet and then a different floor design over here, for example. So I think the turnout of this was really great. I will only show you the adult version or the adult side of the dungeon. Pretty much the young Link side of the temple is pretty much the same texture, so I don't want to stretch out the video too much, and therefore I'm just showing you the adult section of the temple. It is actually a pretty unique feature in this temple that you have to beat it as young Link first and then adult Link. I think it's amazing, and I really just love that idea. Also because it's the only temple, as I know so far in every single Zelda game, that you will experience this kind of this structure of temple design. It's really amazing. And as I said before, working in this temple was also really great. I just think the turnout of this was really amazing. Even though it's the same textures and stuff like that, I just think that everything turned out really great, and I couldn't expect it better. There are a lot of blue colors in this temple right now, and it's funny to see when you're used to see it in these orange, yellow colors, and not blue colors, and this time it's just way different. But I think the outcome of it was really great. You can also see, if I didn't get killed by this floor master, these suns is also replaced with, instead of a face with eye and mouth and nose, this time it's just a Sheikah eye. So when you are moving this to a new position, you should be able to see just the actual eye will be more visible than it would be if you haven't turned on the actual sun. You can see it there. It's a pretty funny feature because the Sheikah eye is barely visible when there are no sunlight on this sun, but when the sunlight comes on it, let me say it like that, then the Shikai will be more and more visible. It's pretty cool, and it's just a funny feature. The face here should actually be visible, but I for some reason just have beaten the temple in this save file too, so there are no video about that or no screenshot, but I will definitely upload it to the Facebook page, so you will be able to see it there, just not in this video update today. Well, as I said before, most of the same textures goes over and over again, but I think it fits really great, and I just love that texture down here. Actually, is actually one of my favorite ones, except for mossy stone textures. That one is also a fan favorite, or at least a creator favorite. Let me say it like that. Yeah, there's basically not much to say. Actually, it's just it is what it is, right? Oh yeah, I don't have to do it like this. Let me go over here, and I will have to do it like this, and thank you for helping me, dear enemy. Thank you a lot. And we got this hallway up to the Iron Knuckle. The Iron Knuckle is just, wow. It's a scary enemy, really a scary enemy. Especially his sounds that you are making when you're fighting him. He sounds really angry, and he sounds really scary in my opinion. But just a fantastic enemy, just another reason why I just love the spiritual temple more than the other temples in Ocarina of Time. Just an amazing thing, Come on, I know I'm fighting an Iron Knuckle with a broken Goron sword, but it's actually pretty powerful. At least it's more powerful than the Master Sword, and therefore it's a good reason to use that anyway. You can see the Master Sword with the what can I call it, mud on it, hangs on the wall here. It's actually taken from the logo of Breath of the Wild. So it's just a little what can I call it? It's just a little thing taken from the inspiration to this texture pack. It's just a little fun thing. Walking inside the temple of a spiritual temple once again, we have to wait for this little platform to come down to us, so we can take the elevator up to the next floor and skip pretty much everything of the adult section of at least the very first part of the adult section in this game. And we are in the middle room of the temple again. I really love the statue here, just looks really awesome. For some reason it just reminds me of an Avatar because it's so much of blue textures all over it. But I think if I change the color scheme on that one into something else except for blue, it would just look really bad in my opinion. I don't really know. It wouldn't really fit to my idea of this texture pack. This room is just hell. If you're not using the hookshot, holy shit, man, don't even think about beating it because it's just frustrating as hell. Can we? Oh, yes, we did it. Just made our way just through this spiky thing. This little room, there's not much to talk about here, and especially not in the next room too. I always feels really odd when I'm entering this room that we're about to enter, because it just feels really misplaced for some reason. You can see it here. It's a room with a lot of wooden doors, and it just what is this? What is it actually? But yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. I cannot hit these? For God's sake, I have to switch to the Master Sword once again. So I'm not getting killed by these goddamn slugs. Fire slugs, whatever you want to call them. Oh, come on. Like that. Well, these wooden doors feels really odd to be placed here in this room, but I think it will look even more odd when the full texture pack is loaded into the game. It will just feel really misplaced. But I can't change anything about it. Once again, we got another sun down there. It looks really cool, and I just love the new design of it. It's just slightly unique, right? Oh, for God's sake, this lizard foss is taking everything fun about this room away, man, because the lizard foss just it's just frustrating. You can see this texture actually isn't edited yet, so everything is still work in progress until the actual project is released. Keep that in mind. It will for sure be retextured before the release of this project, but I just have to say it because, yeah, you know, for good tip. Well, that's basically the main temple. Falling down here will just make your way to the actual boss room. And let's just... I'm soft locked. For God's sake, guys and girls. What the hell is this? Well, as I was trying to speak about, this basically just leads you to the boss room. The boss room has a pretty cool design with this little gate that opens when you hookshot yourself to it. I don't really know, I just really love that design. It's pretty cool. This is the very last iron knuckle that you will see in this temple. The next time you will see them is in Ganon's castle. I really love the look of this specific room. I don't know why, but it feels way more open than the other rooms containing an iron knuckle. And once again, the iron knuckles is just the fan favorite here. I just love that. So I gotta say that. Much love to iron knuckles. Only iron knuckles. And Dark Link, it's actually a pretty cool enemy too. Well, this is the boss room. I don't hope I trigger anything. It will be pretty sad when I'm trying to record. The carpet here has these Sheikah eyes on it too, and then we got the same floor texture on the side and these platforms. There's pretty much nothing to say about it. It is what it is, right? Looks pretty cool, and once again we got this really cool texture with different symbols on it. It looks pretty cool also. Gives this kind of a mystical feeling, I don't know why, but it's just it's not just bricks or something like that. It actually has this kind of symbols on it. Pretty cool. So that is actually all of the temples in my new texture pack here, based on Breath of the Wild and Ocarina of Time. I have to say that the new work in the dungeons, it's amazing, guys and girls. I'm really proud of it, and I'm just totally in love with the outcome of it. It looks extremely well fitting, and I think it's just a really unique design instead of having 5 individual temples for Ocarina of Time. And then the other medallion temples as Young Link. But I think the outcome of this is really great, and even though it's the same textures that appears in each shrine dungeon, I don't even know what to say anymore. I think the outcome feels once again individual, with the same kind of feeling as the other temples. It sounds weird, I know, but I think the outcome of it is just fantastic, and it could be way worse if I used the same texture all over again. But each single texture is actually used in another way in each dungeon, and that's probably what makes it feel better than it could be. I'm really proud of the work, and I hope you guys and girls enjoyed it as much as I do. I know the video got pretty long for today, but I just have so much to show you guys and girls, and yeah, the temples just take a lot of time to show, because there are so many rooms and stuff, right? And we have to make our way through everything just to come to a specific room, right? Well, that was everything I had for you today. The next update video might be about enemies or NPCs, I don't really know, but stay tuned. I definitely got a lot to show next time, so I can't just wait to the next video to upload, man. Thank you so much for watching, guys and girls. Make sure to like this video, subscribe if you haven't, comment what you think about the whole project, and visit the Facebook page. Link will be in the description. You can like that, and you will be stay tuned with the newest updates as quick as possible, because screenshots of the current work will come up there faster than it will on YouTube. So make sure to check that out too if you haven't, and make sure to like it if you haven't. Thank you so much for watching, guys and girls. Have a nice day, and see you next time. Bye.